pregame show, presented by Sprite.
Hello again, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Shaquille O'Neal on 2K Sports, and the NBA season is about to begin. Tonight, it'll be the Chicago Bulls up against the Orlando Magic. Well, for Orlando, it's always an exciting time of the year as fans and other players and coaches around the league all getting a first look at how they might be shaping up for the upcoming season. And you got Tobias Harris, an up-and-coming small ball power forward. He can face up and shoot a little bit from the outside, and he's a stronger player now, Shaq.
Remember, Ernie, he was still 18 when he was drafted out of Tennessee. He's been effective from day one, but he's improved as a rebounder. Took him some time to grow into his body, but as his shot comes along, he has a chance to be one heck of a player.
Indeed. We are getting close to the time for tip-off, which means it's time to get out to Kevin.
And the Magic start out with the ball. A look at the starting group for the Magic. At the 2 and 3, it's Oladipo and Tobias Harris. Ryan Vucevic are the power forward and center. And it's Payton in at the point.
And he's on the board early.
The first to strike there. Nice hoop.
Orlando on D. Right side Rose. Inside to Gasol. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession.
Looked like some miscommunication there offensively. Those guys were not on the same page.
Payton with the ball.
Channing Frye missed all of 2012-13 with an enlarged heart. The condition got better, and last season seemed like he didn't miss a beat. He came back and shot the cover off the ball.
Here is Rose. Passes it to Noah. Outside Butler. He feeds it to Rose. And the three ball is good.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
On defense, Chicago. Now let's find out what head coach Jock Vaughn had to say to DB. Doris?
I asked him what he'd most like to see from his team today, and he told me we'd really like to keep Pau Gasol under wraps in this one. He went on to explain that Gasol can take over games with his efficiency on the offensive end, and the key to their win will be getting a hand in his face every time. Guys?
Thanks.
Oh, man, that was unreal.
Mark it up.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating. Trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
Oladipo, good.
Pretty impressive. 5 straight makes to start this game.
On defense, Orlando. Outside Gasol. A fader. And again, Chicago. No good. And Oladipo kicks to Vucevic. Payton drives in. Drops in the layup for 2.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, you got to make a defensive adjustment here, Clark. Time to collapse inside, force the ball back out in the perimeter, make them beat you from long range. That was not pretty there. You got to make that one, but maybe that's not his range.
No good off the front iron. Bulls trail by 9. Now, a lot of people thought, Steve, that Chicago had a chance last year to do much when Derrick Rose went down, but they stuck with it and ended up in the playoffs nonetheless.
And they didn't just make the playoffs, but they had home court advantage in the first round as well.
They set the pick, and play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Well, good idea setting that screen, but the execution wasn't there.
No, it sure wasn't. I mean, you want it to be hard, but it also has to be legal.
And the wide open shot from Rose. Offline with his 3.
Unfortunately for the Bulls, home court advantage really didn't do much for them as they dropped their first 2 games at home and were bounced in the first round. Another example of why home court advantage is desired, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee anything in the playoffs. Matchups drive results.
Payton kicks to Oladipo. Rose with the double team. Harris outside. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
I'll tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
So for the Bulls, Gibson comes in for Pau Gasol. And it's Heinrich in for Rose. Shot's good by Gibson.
Well, the Bulls ran into a solid Wizards team and lost in their first round of the playoffs. It looked to me like they might have been worn down. And I think a healthy Bulls team with a little more depth is definitely a threat to go deeper this season.
Well, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
Butler dishes to Heinrich. Into Noah. Good. Noah's got his first basket. Orlando leading by 3. And Oladipo kicks to Fry. Dishes it to Oladipo. Feeds to Vucevic. Heinrich on the double team. Ball's knocked loose. Here's Dunleavy, covered by Payton. Gibson passes to Butler. Dunleavy for 3. That's good. Dunleavy's got himself on the board with 3 there.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
A theme that has unfortunately come up for this Orlando franchise is their inability to keep a franchise talent for long. Of course, you think both about Shaq and Dwight Howard and their exits.
Changes for Chicago. Mirotic is checked in for Noah. McDermott comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Tony Snell subbed in for Jimmy Butler. 1:35 left in the first quarter. Gordon kicks to Ridnour. Here's the 3. And it's Gordon missing.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
Well, you don't see him miss that shot very often. When he's open like that, it's usually lights out.
And about Orlando and their stars, is it better, Clark, to have had stars and lost them, or to never have had stars at all?
Well, it's a different kind of heartache, that's for sure. I think you'd rather have them and lose them than not to have them at all. But Orlando has seen a lot of success for how long they've been a franchise. They'd like to be able, though, looking ahead, to keep that next star wearing the Magic uniform right now.
Way to play in attack mode and get inside.
And, you know, if you're on defense and you're going to foul, make sure it's a good one. They did, preventing the and one. You know that if you're a team in the East or anywhere in the NBA for that matter, when you face the Bulls, it's going to be a battle wire to wire. These guys are coming at you for the full 48 minutes. They're extremely tough within the conference, too.
The jump hook, and misses it off the right side of the rim. The Magic have gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. And here is Harkless. Gordon trying to break loose. Once again off the mark, Orlando.
Well, the Bulls just seem built to play against every other team in the East, and it's why they've made the playoffs so often and finished on top in recent years.
And it's the Magic with the ball. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. They set the pick, and Kirk Heinrich picks up the foul. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Orlando, they have had 2 chances at the line already, making them both.
They're a very average shooting team in terms of the free throw line, about 76% a year ago.
Chicago trailing here. Gibson dishes to McDermott. Bulls moving the ball around. Got a piece of it. The pass to Mirotic. Back to Heinrich. Fires from deep. And there's McDermott. That's good on the assist by Heinrich. McDermott's got 5.
Both teams on fire right from the opening tip.
Pedal to the throttle, Steve, just like we like it.
Harkless with the bucket.
And that's how you have to attack the double team. Find the open man, get the ball out of your hands.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Magic out in front, up 1. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And from what we've seen from Orlando, what do you guys see?
And I like what they've done offensively, really attacking the rim, getting a lot of points in the paint.
And guys, they've been the aggressor early. I mean, attacking the hoop and getting into the paint, that can make the game really easy for you.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. Ridnour out there with Gordon. Then there's Andrew Nicholson. Then there's Mo Harkless. And it's Gordon in at the power forward position. Here's Heinrich. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. McDermott can't get it to go.
More good work on the glass there. When it's all said and done, I think rebounding might well tell the story in this one.
And that should tilt things toward them. I mean, they've been winning that battle.
Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris?
Well, gentlemen, Nikola Vucevic has improved every year he's been in the league. A lot of his improvement has come from him just working on his game. According to Coach Jacques Vaughn, he's a guy that I don't have to worry about. With his father playing so many years and having the influence in his life that he has, he's been trained to train himself. Gentlemen, over to you.
Certainly a player to root for. Thanks, Doris.
And you know, he's still so young, but he's shown a lot of promise. It's going to be really fun to watch him develop.
Goes up again, and it's Gordon missing. Chicago's gotten a success rate of just over 50% from three-point tonight. 4 of 7 shooting. Here's Snell, defended by Harkless. McDermott. They get it back. Here's Noah, and he banks in the layup. Noah's got the game tied up here for Chicago.
Boy, where was the box out? Too easy on that second chance opportunity.
Yeah, no box out is what happened there. Those kind of mistakes on the glass will kill a team.
Joakim Noah, one of the great effort players in the NBA. His energy and mobility enable him to make his impact felt all over the court.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. So Chicago ends up going with a new group. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Vucevic checked in for Gordon. Harris comes in for Harkless. Victor Oladipo, he's checked in for Ben Gordon. And it's Payton in for Luke Ridnour. Here's Gasol, and he gets it to go.
Boy, you talk about Noah's energy and hustle. His offensive rebounding is a huge plus for their offense, and his speed in transition creates problems for the opposing big men as well.
And Harris wide open. He shoots. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. And the Magic lead by 3. The Bulls have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Butler passes to Mirotic, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
You know, the dunks are few and far between for the big guy, but every once in a while we get one just like that.
It's not hard to believe that kind of size might keep you from being a high flyer.
Yeah, that's a lot of man right there to try to get up off the ground, Kevin.
At the defensive end, Steve, Noah's a key player.
Yeah, last season's Defensive Player of the Year, Kevin. He gives you rebounds, blocks, steals, but what impresses me the most is his ability to guard on the perimeter against screen and roll. When he switches out onto point guards, he's unmatched in that category.
Bulls trail by 3. Rose goes in. Butler kicks to Mirotic. Pass to Rose. Three-pointer. And the Bulls, another 3.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Here's Payton. Goes back up, and it's blocked. And a little under 3.5 minutes elapsed in the second quarter of play. Mirotic dishes to Gasol. Dunleavy for 3, and that one's good. Now it's a 3-point Bulls lead. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Chicago.
But great hustle defensively through 2 quarters of play, contesting everything, starting to rack up those block shots, guys.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnovers.
And Butler, here we go. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Well, a tough shooting slump for Jimmy Butler last season. Some injuries took him out of rhythm. He was asked to play a bigger role offensively after Luol Deng was traded. Still, he's become one of the premier defensive players in the league.
And Jimmy Butler, a fan favorite in Chicago, taken with the 30th pick, Clark, back in 2011. And he really is a tenacious defender.
Yeah, he's a tough-minded, scrappy player. I mean, you hear about his tough upbringing. It's easy to see why he approaches the game with that fearlessness and determination that he plays with.
Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. Some changes for Chicago. Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Gasol. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and Tony Snell subbed in for Mike Dunleavy. And there's the feed to Vucevic, and it's blocked by Noah. Outside Butler, Gibson inside, and it's Orlando with the rebound.
Oh, he knows that one should have gone in. That hurts.
Payton against Noah. Payton passes to Harris. Out to Payton, just 5 on the clock. Shot from 16. Harris misses.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
And Gibson kicks to Rose. Left side Rose. Nice shot from the wing. Rose has got 10 points in the game. The Magic trail by 5. Payton drives in. Here's Fry. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Payton's got 4 assists in the game.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Snell dishes to Rose. Clock at 6. 14 feet away. It's Chicago with another bucket.
Whatever their plan was defensively that time, it didn't work. Not if it results in that shot.
Payton passes to Oladipo. Vucevic setting the pick for Oladipo. And Vucevic kicks to Oladipo. Payton drives in. Good ball movement here by the Magic. Here's Harris. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Harris has got 7.
And they're beginning to fall apart a little bit defensively, especially inside.
Well, that's 4 straight buckets now at the rim.
Pass to Snell. Kicks it to Noah. From deep, Rose. And again, it's the Bulls from deep.
Pretty passing. Timely recognition as to where the open man was.
Now, here's Oladipo. 1 second left. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so that...
Coach, obviously a tough start for your team defensively, but things seem to improve throughout the first half. What were you seeing out there tonight?
Yeah, no, we didn't do a good job to start the game. They were going wherever they wanted to go. So we have to do a much better job of playing the ball and then giving the appropriate help. Once we settled down a little bit, I thought...
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
He went off in the first 2 quarters, guys, as he's capable of doing. We might see some changes here in the defensive approach they use on him in the second half.
Yeah, they've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him like he has been.
D. Rose and Jimmy Butler, the backcourt. Inside at the 4 and 5 are Gasol and Noah. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3 spot. So that's the 5 in the game for Chicago.
Well, Tobias Harris missing the first month and a half of last season with a high ankle sprain. And once he returned, it took him a while to get back into form. But Magic are hoping he can be a big piece for them moving forward.
The Bulls leading by 4. Now let's send it to Doris from the sideline.
Gentlemen, a close partnership between Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau and center Joakim Noah. Noah said, quote, "The way each of us sees the game can be totally different, but he'll fight anybody to win, and I will too." Noah says Thibodeau's changed too, adding, "He's opened up a lot more, asking how we're doing, what we're thinking." Kevin?
They're really the backbone of that team. Thanks, Doris. On defense, the Bulls. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. To the wing on the left, and Harris wide open. He shoots. The rebound by Noah. Noah's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
The Magic trail by 6. Payton drives in. Tries again. Here's Vucevic. Rose with the block. And we're about a minute and a half here into the second half. Traps in the tray. And it's a 9-point Bulls lead.
You know, there's no better sign of how efficiently a team is operating than their assist numbers. And theirs are fantastic.
It's just beautiful basketball to watch, Clark.
Payton's shot is off.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Noah dishes to Butler. He kicks it to Rose. Rose with another miss. The Magic trail by 9. And it's Oladipo with the jam.
Now that was pretty. That was just a nice-looking reverse jam right there.
Use the rim, Clark, to protect the ball, I think, too, a little bit.
Yeah, did a nice job with it.
Yeah, no question, Kevin. Great awareness and terrific finish.
Time called here. The Bulls decide to talk it over.
Vucevic is really a very capable mid-range jump shooter, but his post repertoire is still a work in progress, very much so. With his size and touch, you'd really like to see him develop that back-to-the-basket game.
So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Ozzie Muhammad's checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Dunleavy. McDermott's checked in for Butler. And it's Heinrich in for Rose. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Vucevic. Gordon comes in for Channing Frye. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Tobias Harris. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Payton. The Magic shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. You guys were talking about Vucevic developing inside Steve. There's also some work to do defensively.
Yeah, still a bit foul prone. He's got to follow the Roy Hibbert school of defense, remaining vertical, walling off the rim, and avoiding those fouls.
And Gibson kicks to Muhammad. The dish now to Gasol. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. And the Bulls lead by 8.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Gasol with the steal. Here's McDermott, and he goes in for the dunk.
Boy, the kind of moments you love to see. Excellent defense leading to a dunk at the other end.
Clark, you got to marvel at the transition game when they've got it clicking. It's really explosive.
High octane for sure.
Oof. Yeah, turning defensive pressure into offensive opportunities. That's what it's all about. Gotta love the use of the bounce pass there. Perfect feed.
Heinrich kicks to Muhammad. He dishes it to Gibson. Here's McDermott. And the 3 off target. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. A 3-pointer is right on target. McDermott's got 5 points now in the quarter.
There's been a huge discrepancy between these teams and their effectiveness from the three-point line.
And you really notice it at that end of the floor where they continue to get open looks and knock them down.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. And during the timeout, both coaches getting a chance here to review the strategy at this point of the game along with the discussions. Also some rehydration going on with Gatorade. Everyone trying to bring their top game here tonight.
Yeah, that's why you see the trainers going around to every player, making sure they're hydrated, they're getting enough to drink during the game. So important to hydrate yourself and keep yourself strong and ready to play for these big minutes down the stretch.
Mirotic is checked in for the Bulls. Butler comes in for Taj Gibson. Ben Gordon's checked in for Orlando. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Yes, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Jacques Vaughn said to the team. Their transition offense has to be a focal point, he told them. Points on the break are going to be crucial for the rest of this game. Also, he said that he'd like them to operate quickly on offense, finding and taking shots early in the shot clock. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Mirotic gets the bucket.
And what jumps out at you guys, the assist totals. I mean, they have been dominant in that category. It's the ball movement, the player movement, a great rhythm to their offense.
Clearly seems to me a different mindset between these teams.
Harkless the pass to O'Quinn, and he gets it to go.
And you love the concentration. Gets hit, but stays with the play.
Yeah, he showed a lot right there. Plenty of concentration, finding a way to get that shot to fall.
Peyton, he's checked in for the Magic.
Kyle O'Quinn in his third season out of Norfolk State, 6'10", but with a 7'5" wingspan and the strength to hold his own at the pivot. He has shown some promise for a player taken in the second round.
Heinrich with it, and it's Gordon picking him up. From deep, that's good from McDermott on the assist by Heinrich. And that's 13 points for Doug McDermott.
His shooting's been outstanding. Definitely one of the reasons his team is up in this game.
Tipped away. Oh, here comes Heinrich all alone. And he lobs it up.
Well, there you go. One team operating on all cylinders at either end, steals, fast break buckets, and the other team scrambling to find its game.
Yeah, they've done a great job causing havoc and then taking advantage in transition offensively.
Peyton dishes to Harkless. Gordon with the screen for Harkless. 6 to shoot, and O'Quinn kicks to Gordon. No good from the wing. And O'Quinn, a relatively ground-bound game. Not a big-time athlete.
Yeah, and very foul-prone defensively in part because of that lack of athleticism, but he has shown the ability to knock down the mid-range jump shot. He's a hard worker, a quality young man, good rebounder and shot blocker. I think he's got a chance to be one of those guys that plays a long time and makes a nice contribution in the league.
Rose kicks to Dunleavy. Butler passes to Rose. He feeds it to Dunleavy. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Dunleavy's got 4 points in the quarter.
And the buckets always coming in bunches for him. And right now, they are really rolling.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. The Magic trail by 15 on the court for Orlando. At the 2 and 3, it's Oladipo and Tobias Harris. Fly and Vucevic are the power forward and center. And it's Peyton in at the point guard. And Chicago shooting fantastically in this game, 62% from the floor. Rose against Peyton. Fires, high post, and Oladipo pulls it down.
Can't get a much better look than that, though.
Sure can't. Not one you'd expect him to miss there.
And that one's good. The Bulls leading by 11. Passes it to Butler. Feeds to Dunlap. Dishes to Gasol. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, something of a bounce-back season for Pau Gasol in 2013-14, Steve, with better health and a return to playing in the middle more often.
Yeah, you know, he dealt with a few nagging injuries, Kevin, but scored better, rebounded better. Nice to see him, show that he's really still an elite big after struggling a couple seasons ago.
And for Powell, with an expiring contract, trade rumors swirled all season long. That's nothing new for him. He's been hearing them for years.
And Powell last season making $20 million a year. Hard for the Lakers to trade him when they wanted cap space. In the end, he found a new home and a new start in free agency.
Rose. It's hauled in by the Magic. Harris has got his 4th rebound in this one. On up the court and stolen by Butler. From deep three-point range, an absolute bomb from three-point range. And taking a quick look here at the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Their activity at the defensive end, Kevin, has been really impressive, attacking and coming away with steals.
And guys, the thing that jumps out at me is their block shots. I mean, they're playing up on the shooters tightly, and then they're sending them packing. I mean, putting those shots in reverse, all in a clear, good day's work.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Really, last season was just the second step in the aftermath that was the Dwight Howard trade for the Magic. Still trying to find the direction and acquire building blocks, and that does take a little time.
Here's what Chicago's going with right now. Taj Gibson's checked in for Gasol. McDermott comes in for Mike Dunleavy. It's Heinrich in for Butler. Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, I was able to listen in on what Jacques Vaughn was going over with his team. He got after them and told them to turn up the intensity, saying, we put ourselves in a corner, and now we've got to fight our way out. Show me what you have. Let's see if we've got what it takes, guys.
Thanks, Doris. Fry dishes to Harris. The shot from the low post is good. Harris has got 4 points in the quarter. Reflecting again on the Howard trade you mentioned, guys, some of the pieces they received, Steve, from that deal have started to blossom.
I agree. They did a good job with that trade, and it probably didn't look like that in the beginning to their fans, but a lot of these young guys they acquired, Vucevic, they've really been good.
Payton kicks to Oladipo. Rose with the double team. Payton with the ball, now defended by McDermott, and the basket by Harris.
His shooting has been so good today, he may have to take it upon himself to try to get his club out of this hole.
Gibson passes to McDermott. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And Gibson kicks to Heinrich. McDermott, no one around him. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist. Heinrich's got 4 assists in the game.
He's really done a nice job taking advantage of his opportunities in this half.
The wide open look here for Vucevic. It's rebounded by Noah. Noah's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Orlando making a change here. Gordon's checked in. The Magic trail by 14. Back to Payton. On the wing, Gordon, the 17-footer. Here's Vucevic, and they convert it last on attempt number 3.
They're taking so many shots down there, and they're knocking them down. Really good looks in the paint.
No doubt the offensive philosophy today, pound that thing inside.
Chicago calls timeout. And you look at the Bulls, a bit of a different look for them, trading away Dang. They amnesty Carlos Boozer. It seems they're shuffling the deck.
No question about it. They bring in the Spanish League MVP and Nikola Mirotic. They've had some good draft choices as well, so a lot of new bodies for the Bulls.
Some changes for Chicago. So it's Chicago now. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Butler kicks to Snell. Takes the 3. And the basket good.
Boy, they've come out of halftime just smoking hot from behind the arc.
Hey, trust me on this one, partner. They are going to continue to let them fly.
Payton drives in. Soft touch off the glass. Out of bounds, Bulls ball. Chicago keeps possession.
Still Bulls ball.
And a little over 3.5 minutes in the books so far here in the 4th. Left side, Butler takes a 3. Snell, no good. The Magic trail by 13. Left side, Harris. Lots of room. That's good. And it's Payton with the assist. Here's Snell. Unloads from 9. Gasol kicks to Dunleavy. The Bulls keep it alive. Not a lot of time left for the Magic in this one. And slam dunk by Harris. No challenge from the defense there, Clark. Could have put that one through any way he wanted.
And I love the choice there, partner. Going hard to the hoop. for that throwdown.
Yeah, that's invisible defense leading to a very visible finish.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Yeah, the defender draped all over it.
Pretty plain and simple. Got him good there.
And he ends up making the second, and that will push the lead to double digits. Time call here. The Magic decide to talk it over. They trail by 10. 1:29 left in the fourth quarter. So for the Bulls, Joakim Noah, he's checked in for Mirotic. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Tony Snell. Payton with the ball, and Rose picks him up defensively. Payton dishes to Oladipo. That is good.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
Yeah, that's 5 of their last 6 baskets inside the lane. They have really established themselves inside.
Near the three-point line, it's Dunleavy, not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down. The Magic trail by 10. The pass to Harris. Oladipo against Butler. Oladipo, good.
Well, since we hit half number 2, he's finally come around. That first half was not his best, obviously.
The Bulls leading by 8. Now Dunleavy. Pass to Rose. Now the feed to Butler. Outside Rose. Lets it go from deep. And that one's good.
Wow. Wow. What a great performance from him. He's hit 3 in each half.
Now Payton. A wide open look here for Oladipo. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. Here's Dunleavy, defended by Gordon. Gasol passes to Butler, fires for 3. Offensive rebound, second shot opportunity, and Gasol lays it in. And the Bulls lead by 13.
Terrific job taking care of business in front of the home fans.
And Steve, I thought those fans, those home fans, gave this team a big lift all game. A lot of positive energy in the building.
And he was one step ahead of the defense when he fired that pass for the assist.
The clock now can just run out for the Bulls. And the dunk by Rose.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
And Harris wide open. He shoots, and it's wide right. Hits off the rim. Noah with it. Three-pointer. Butler. Shot is blocked. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Not much to be critical of with this win, Clark.
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win, and they did both.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, a nice win for you tonight, Joakim. What was the attitude of the team coming into this game and just in general?
Yeah, we played hard tonight. We're getting better. We just got to keep going. You know, it's a work in progress. And, you know, we just got to keep fighting and get as many W's as possible.
Congratulations, Joakim. We appreciate it. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. And, folks, that about concludes our broadcast tonight. For Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching as we leave you with our Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose.